All right, guys. So today we're gonna be reacting to speaking Texas German. Yeah, I knew there in Texas there's a lot of Germans down there. Well, heritage German. I know in Pennsylvania, Iowa, all these places there's still people speaking German. Even in my brother's family, he got married to a Polish and German girl, and they still speak German and Polish. So it'll be very interesting to see how this thing is gonna sound in Texas. Let's jump in.
The Germans that immigrated to Texas in the 1840s came from all areas across Germany. Most of my grandparents came to Fredericksburg in the 1840s, so my great-great-grandparents arrived in Indianola, came to New Braunfels, then into Fredericksburg, and settled here. So as they came into Fredericksburg, settled down, married, the dialects merged with each other. So our German language here has a dialect that is quite different from any other region.
Old German bakery, huh?
Ein Wasser ins Haus gehabt. Well, das ist wie wir gestern Abend.
I did grow up speaking German.
Huh? Did that sound like legit? German people, does that sound legit, or it's a little bit chewy?
And I spoke only German until I started school. I learned the home life language. Working in the garden alongside Mother and Daddy, that was in the German language. Going and staying with grandparents, great-grandparents. Getting the eggs with Opa, and doing some sewing with Oma. I learned about helping my mother with the children, so that was done in the German language.
I discovered the Texas German dialect in the summer of 2001, and I stopped in Fredericksburg. I had lunch. I heard these elderly gentlemen speak an interesting variety of German that I've never heard before. So I went up to them and I asked, where are you from and what are you doing here? And they looked at me in disbelief and they said, what do you mean? We've always been here and we speak Texas German and we're fifth generation Texas Germans. And that was the first time that I had not only heard Texas German spoken, but that I also knew that it existed.
Ja, jedes Mal dasselbe. Ja, gut.
My first experience in learning that the German language in Fredericksburg was quite different than the language in Germany was in 1990.
Hey, shout out to Germany, man. Look at that. Look at that. Is that Germany? Has to be German. Has to be German. That does not look Texas at all.
When we met with the people from Montabaur here and in Germany, there were words that I used that would bring these smiles to people's faces, and they would say, oh, now I haven't heard that word used since my grandmother passed away.
So at the end, after 3 to 4 to 5 generations, the dialect that you get sounds a little bit like all the input dialects from 100 or 150 years ago, but it's a unique dialect. So Texas German is different in that it's a mix of different dialects. And then Texas German is also interesting because it's been in contact with English for such a long time. So you have a long list of hundreds of words that have been borrowed from English into Texas German. One of the obvious ones is...
and it's happening in Puerto Rico as well. We call something Anglicismo. So right now our Spanish, there's a lot of English words in it, right? So just to get like a mix. Of course, we don't want that. We want to speak Spanish and English correctly. Separately. You don't want to, do this.
Words like die Stinkkatz, which literally means the stinking cat. They saw this little fluffy thing that was walking around and looked like a cat, but it really had a bad smell, so they literally called it stinking cat. And
yeah, you don't touch it.
Something very uniquely Texan.
Da war keine Wagen, so der Herbst und seine Frau und die Jungen sind bei Fuß.
Texas German is really hard to find these days. If you go to 9-pin bowling alleys, if you go to particular types of social clubs like dancing clubs, shooting clubs, card playing clubs, specifically.
Look at that. My God, that's Texan. That is pure Texan. Look at that. Oh, man.
Areas like New Braunfels or in Fredericksburg or in Schulenburg or Freiburg or in Comfort. You can go to feed stores, you can go to hardware stores, and if you're lucky, you run into people who speak Texas German with you.
Interesting. Boom, 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 boom. Let me know, you guys from Germany. Let me know what you guys think about this. Does that German sounds legit, or is it a little bit chewy, or is it? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it? Is it? I mean, it sounds German, but I don't know. I don't really don't know. I know some of the states over here in where I live in Wisconsin, Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, all these states here in the Rose Bowl states. They some of we have Amish. They don't speak German. They speak Dutch, American Dutch, or whatever they call that. There's some of that thing going on, right? And some people still speak it, but I'm just I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a little chewy, or does it sound different? Doesn't sound German at all? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.